In 480 BCE, one of the most iconic battles in history took place during the Greco-Persian Wars. It was a fight not just for survival, but for the soul of Greece. At the narrow pass of Thermopylae, King Leonidas of Sparta and his 300 elite warriors made a heroic last stand against the vast Persian army led by King Xerxes. This is the story of bravery, sacrifice, and a battle that would echo throughout the ages. The Battle of Thermopylae was part of the larger Greco-Persian Wars, a series of conflicts that began in the early 5th century BCE when the Persian Empire, under King Darius I, sought to expand its influence into the Greek mainland. The Persian Empire was the largest in the world, stretching from Egypt to India, but the fiercely independent Greek city-states, including Athens and Sparta, refused to submit to its rule. After suffering a defeat at Marathon, the Persians, now under King Xerxes I, launched a massive invasion to subjugate Greece once and for all. The cause of the battle: Xerxes I sought to avenge his father Darius's defeat at Marathon and to extend Persian dominion over Greece. To do so, he assembled a vast army, reported by Herodotus to be in the millions, though modern historians estimate it closer to 100,000 to 300,000 troops. Xerxes' strategy involved both a land and sea assault, aiming to crush Greek resistance and conquer the city-states. Knowing that a direct confrontation with such a massive force was impossible, the Greeks, under the leadership of Sparta, decided to block Xerxes at the narrow pass of Thermopylae, a place where the Persian numbers would count for little. The warlords. The Battle of Thermopylae pitted two remarkable leaders against each other. King Leonidas of Sparta, a warrior king. Leonidas was chosen to lead the Greek forces at Thermopylae. He handpicked 300 of his best Spartan soldiers, all of whom had living sons to carry on their legacy, and marched north to face Xerxes. Leonidas was known for his stoic bravery and military skill. Xerxes I of Persia, the Persian emperor, Xerxes inherited the throne from his father, Darius I, and sought to expand the Persian Empire into Europe. He led one of the largest military expeditions of the ancient world, confident that his vast numbers would overwhelm any Greek resistance. Leonidas's leadership and sacrifice would make him a symbol of resistance, while Xerxes' ambition would shape the course of the Greco-Persian Wars. The Battle of Thermopylae lasted for 3 days in August of 480 BCE. The narrow pass at Thermopylae, bordered by the sea on one side and cliffs on the other, was perfectly suited to the defensive strategy of the Greeks. On the first 2 days, the Greeks successfully repelled wave after wave of Persian attacks. The disciplined hoplite formations, led by the Spartans, held the line against the more lightly armored Persian soldiers. The narrowness of the pass neutralized the Persian advantage in numbers, and the fighting was fierce. But on the third day, tragedy struck. A Greek traitor named Ephialtes betrayed his fellow countrymen by revealing a secret mountain path to the Persians, allowing Xerxes' forces to outflank the Greeks. Realizing that their position was hopeless, Leonidas dismissed most of the Greek forces, choosing to remain behind with his 300 Spartans, 700 Thespians, and a few hundred Thebans. In the final stand, the Greeks fought valiantly, but were eventually overwhelmed by the Persian forces. Leonidas and his men fought to the last, refusing to surrender. After 3 days of relentless combat, Leonidas and his remaining forces were slain, and the Persians gained control of the pass. Despite their victory, Xerxes' forces suffered heavy losses. The Spartans' stand at Thermopylae became a symbol of resistance and valor, and it bought precious time for the Greeks to prepare for further battles, particularly at Salamis and Plataea, where they would eventually turn the tide of the war. The Battle of Thermopylae ended because the Greeks were betrayed and outflanked, making their defensive position untenable. However, their sacrifice was not in vain. The delay caused by Leonidas and his men allowed the other Greek city-states to regroup and prepare for future battles. It also boosted morale and demonstrated that even the mighty Persian Empire could be resisted. The legacy of the Battle of Thermopylae is one of heroic sacrifice and defiance in the face of overwhelming odds. Leonidas and his 300 Spartans, along with their Greek allies, have been immortalized in literature, art, and popular culture as symbols of courage and duty. The battle proved that the Persian Empire could be challenged, and it galvanized the Greeks to continue their fight for freedom. For those seeking to dive deeper into the history of the Battle of Thermopylae, several ancient and modern sources provide detailed accounts. Herodotus's histories, known as the father of history, Herodotus provides the primary account of the Greco-Persian Wars, including the Battle of Thermopylae, Plutarch's Lives, the life of Lycurgus and the life of Leonidas. These works delve into the lives of the Spartan kings and their values. Books like Gates of Fire by Stephen Pressfield provide a novelized, but historically rich, retelling of the battle. The Battle of Thermopylae remains one of history's most famous last stanza moments, where a small group of warriors faced impossible odds for the sake of freedom. Their courage continues to inspire generations, reminding us that even in the darkest moments, heroism and valor can shine through. Join us next time as we explore another epic conflict from history, here on History Orlog.